So this is my week 1 of starting WGU for my Bachelor's of Accounting. I just wanted to keep a record for myself in the future to see like week by week how it went. So this week was my first week. I started Sunday, June 1st, and my first class was the organizational behavior. I forget the letter number part of the class, but yeah, so it was organizational behavior. I started on Sunday. I read, I think I have like 4 chapters. So I got through a lot of studying on Sunday. But before that, I wanted to talk about what I did to prep beforehand. So before I went on Reddit, subreddit, WGU Accounting, just to get an idea of like tips people before it given. And then I realized reading through them that people were referencing specific classes, and like maybe I should write down all my classes first so I can know what they're talking about. So I paused that, went and created a Notion database for all the classes like in the degree, and then I like tagged them so I could see which ones I've already completed because I had an associate's degree before. So I brought in, I forget how many credits. But yeah, I brought in quite a few classes because I had an associate's degree. So really all I have to take are the business accounting classes. So all the general ed ones, those are done. So I made that database then so I could see what I still had left to do and how much I had left. And then I created a little dashboard so it'll be really easy to find those classes, to make my own tasks to go and study, because everything needs to be scheduled or it won't get done. So I did that. Then I went back to Reddit to look up each class, and then I interned into my database just any notes I found, like if a class was generally easy according to different people or really hard, or if you should pay special attention to the resources or the videos. Like I kind of just took all the general information I could find. I didn't spend like too much time on this, like maybe, I don't know, it was less than an hour. Like going back and forth with my database, Reddit, and yeah, I think that was my main prep work. And just getting an idea of how much I have left to do. And then I set like a general goal of a class a week. But yeah, we'll see if I keep that up. So that was the prep before. And then obviously you talk to your mentor, you meet them, they set up your classes and kind of go over what to expect. And so then Sunday, like that's when I could started my first class. And the mentor sets up the order, and I just followed that. Like the subreddit says, just follow the suggested order, and I did. So I did the first class, like I said, studying mostly on Sunday, got through like 4 or 5 chapters. So approach. So I know a lot of people will like speed through and just take the pre-assessment, and then if they do good, they just take the last exam and move on. But I actually wanted to like get the information, because I already like to read business books. I already like to learn. I read for fun. So like, why not read and also get a degree with it? So I'm actually reading the chapters, and I'm pretty good at reading and skimming through for the important information. I'm actually taking notes, like just taking down any definitions or concepts that seem important, because I'm also good at that. Like I can kind of see in a textbook, like if I was making a test, what would I ask about? So that's pretty obvious to me. So I'm taking notes. Then after I read it, I do take the practice quizzes, at least for this class. That's how they had it. You read the chapter, then take the practice quiz, and then you can watch the video where they go over the answers, and why that's the answer and how to find the right answer. The videos I at first watched all the way through because that was the only way to find the answer, but then I learned to just skip through, and I would only stop if my answer was wrong. I would stop and watch that whole section to see like what I could improve on next time. So I started really slow with this course because I wanted to get a feel for how the study flow would go, what to expect, and then I'll probably like even for this course, I started slower and then kind of went faster as I kind of knew what to expect and what works for me. So yeah, that's what I did. Read the chapter, take some notes, take the practice quiz, check my answers, do a little bit extra looking at my notes if I needed to. Then I took the pre-assessment. So I took that. I did really well. I only missed a few questions. But I went over the ones I missed, made some note cards just to get that the concepts in my head more. And then once I did that, I felt pretty good. Scheduled the OA, the final test for that same day. So I started studying Sunday, did some more Monday, like a little bit the rest of the week. But honestly, I was busy with work. So I just did light reading. Like instead of having an actual book to read, I just had my textbook on my phone, the textbook app. So every time I felt like reading something, I would read that just to get that done. And then today, Saturday, I went in, finished up the last chapter I had, and then took those practice quizzes because I hadn't taken them during the week, reviewed them, did the same process with review what I got wrong, made the note cards. And today is when I took the pre-assessment and passed it. And then I scheduled the final test the same day, so the same afternoon, like 20 minutes after I finished the pre-assessment, and felt good and confident. So I took the last test. Now this is the part where it was like a little more stressful because it was my first time using WGU's proctored testing process. And I had watched the videos for orientation on what to expect. I rewatched what you need, how to set up your testing area. I watched their recommended videos beforehand on how to set up the camera, what to expect when you begin the process. But I was still really stressed out because those videos don't reflect what actually happens. Because in the video, it shows like a person there telling you what to do. But in the actual process, it's more automated. So there's no person there walking you through this. It's just instructions on your computer screen saying like, turn the webcam around, take a picture of your area, take a picture of this part. So the whole time I'm just afraid, like I'm getting no feedback that it's right, except you do get this little support chat box in the corner with an actual person telling you, or you can ask them, because I asked like, hey, is this okay? Because this is my first time. And they're great. It's just not like how the video showed you with an actual person there giving feedback on screen. But yeah, I got through that part. It was stressful getting set up, hoping I had the area set up right. But once I started the test, it was fine. Oh, another thing, let's see. I still have my whiteboard from the test because I just wrote notes down on there after I finished on things I wanted to remember to talk about. So I use a password manager for all my passwords, and on the actual test, you have to log in to your WGU account, and the password manager doesn't pop up in the browser they make you use for testing. So I asked the proctor in the chat box, like, I use a password manager. Is it okay if I use it to get my password? Because I didn't want them thinking I was like trying to cheat or something. And they said it was fine. So I had to just type one by one the password from the password manager, and that took a while. I'll probably just change the password to something that I can memorize for each test, so I don't have to do that. But that's just an FYI if you use a password manager like I do. And also, I don't know if everyone will be fine with that, or if that's like a proctor by proctor basis. So let's see. But yeah, the test itself was fine. I would say it was pretty similar to the pre-assessment. Like how you did on the pre-assessment is probably how well you're going to do on the final test. So I would say they pretty matched up, which is what everyone in the subreddit says. And yeah, that was the last test. That was about 15-20 minutes ago, maybe 30 minutes. But yeah, just finished, feel good. I got the results right away, so I passed it. Did really well. And yeah, now I'm ready for test 2. So going forward, what I think I'm gonna do is try to start a new class on Saturday. That way I can get a lot of studying done Saturday and Sunday, and then hopefully more on Monday. And then maybe the rest of the week, whatever else left I have to do, I can like space it out. But Saturday, Sunday, and Monday are really good focus days for me for like reading and learning and studying. And then do the same thing the following Saturday, take the test. And then, yeah, so we'll see. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes from there. And I'm hoping the accounting courses, because I've been doing bookkeeping for years, and I feel pretty strong about debits and credits. The last time I took courses on that, I really studied and like learned it so I could get it down. I don't even use like a cheat sheet debit credit thing when I'm working in books. So hopefully, I'm hoping those will go a little faster just because I already know it. But yeah, so we'll see. That's the end of week 1.